What's going on here, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to do a full story video. A full story video is when I sit down, take a bunch of videos, combine them together into one big video. And so with that being said, we are going to do Doctor Doom's 2018 series. Now, this was actually a pretty good series that Marvel gave us. Matter of fact, we got to see Doctor Doom destroy an entire universe. Yes, you heard that right. Doctor Doom destroys an entire universe in the multiverse. And so with that happening, it really made the series even more interesting. And so I do hope you love today's comic book video, because we're going to cover both volume 1 and volume 2 of Doctor Doom's 2018 series. I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video. Now, in the opening pages of this book, we actually pick up with the moon. The reason why is because there is a new base known as the Atelian Center on the moon. Now, the reason why we pick up on this base is because they are going to create a black hole as a way to help the Earth deal with its pollution problem. Now, this is all being told to us on live television in the opening pages, and Doctor Doom is being interviewed. And the reason why is because he wants to give his thoughts about this project, because he thinks that this project is going to be a bad idea, especially because it was made by Reed Richards and Tony Stark. And because Reed is sloppy and Tony Stark is reckless, this project is going to fall apart. But Doctor Doom is unable to express that because every single person, especially one who is interviewing him, will not let him talk. And matter of fact, they cut him off, which makes him very angry. And he's like, I'm done. I'm done. They're going to have a huge problem on their hands very soon. But then you have some of Doctor Doom's assistants come to him to tell him what is going on in his country. Because you have to remember, when it comes to Doctor Doom, he is the ruler over Latveria, this country in Europe. And so right now you have one of his assistants tell him that they are dealing with an issue at the borderline of their country with another country known as Sumcaria. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but Sumcaria has been around for a long time in Marvel Comics, and they play a very important role in this storyline. But he's not really worried about those forces trying to invade his country. His mind is more on the black hole, because he's hoping that this black hole will not be the downfall or the end of the Earth, because again, he still feels like this black hole is a bad idea. Now, this is the moment where I have to explain who King the Conqueror is. Because while you have Doctor Doom in his private room trying to sit down and write, he is confronted by King the Conqueror. Now, King the Conqueror is a very annoying time traveler character. And the reason why is because he is from the future. But because he time travels so much across time and different timelines, there are different versions of him across all time. So my big prime example is this right here. Remember our Young Avengers coverage where we had Iron Lad. Iron Lad is a teenage version of King the Conqueror. And so even though you have Iron Lad out there, you also have different versions of King the Conqueror out there as well. And so there are multiple characters that is really just King the Conqueror, but different versions of him. But the reason why he is here is because there is some kind of connection between him and Victor Von Doom. Now, the reason why I say that is because even though King the Conqueror last name is Richards, his full name is Nathaniel Nathaniel Richards had a hard time saying that, meaning that he could be a great grandson of Reed Richards. But sometimes Marvel loves to hint that he could be the great grandson to Victor Von Doom as well. No one truly knows which family he belongs to. And so this is Marvel once again saying, hey, there is some kind of connection between him and Doctor Doom, but we have no idea what that connection is. And so every time Kang the Conqueror time travels to this time, he first appeared right next to Victor Von Doom. But once they have their conversation, he is gone once again. But he does mention that, yes, in his time, Earth did try to make a black hole as a way to fix their pollution problem. But he said in some timelines it worked. In other timelines, it did not work. But then you have the book jump into the main plot line of this whole book, which is that when Victor Von Doom goes into the bathroom to splash some water on his face, he is then confronted by visions of him and some lady and two kids, kind of hinting that maybe he wants this, or maybe this could be his future, where he is finally happy. He has a wife and two kids, but also these two kids and this wife of his that he is seeing in this vision tells him that he was able to give the world peace completely. The whole world has peace, and that is huge. But then he has another vision where he sees this black hole sucking everything up, and it could hint that, listen, the black hole they just made on the moon could be the end of everything on Earth. Then we get into my favorite moment of the whole book, because we actually pick up with Victor Von Doom once again with his assistant, and she is telling him what's going on in his country, but also the fact that because it has been weeks since the black hole has first opened up, that a lot of people are saying the black hole was a good idea. The Earth is actually getting better. And you have Victor Von Doom say, I don't care. Honestly, I know what I know. And that black hole is a bad idea. And then we find out that he actually kidnapped and he's holding hostage one of the reporters who had interviewed him in the beginning of our video, but they would not let him speak. And so that made him very angry. And so he kidnapped the person and he is holding him hostage at the moment. But then we pick up with Victor Von Doom once again trying to have a peaceful moment in his day where he's just trying to relax, except that is the moment where he's confronted by another vision. And this vision is showing him that him and his son are on a boat together and they're having the best time of their lives. They're bonding. But once again, Victor Von Doom does not know, is this supposed to be his future down the road, or could be a future in a different timeline? He has no idea. But things are about to begin to pop off, because we actually jump back over to the Atelian Center. And this is why I say that this new concept that Marvel gave us is going to go away very quickly, is because you have everyone who is working on this base acting like everything is going to be okay. Then bam, everything blows up left and right. Missiles are firing at this center, except all of the missiles are coming from one single location, Latveria, Dr. Doom's country. And he's like, I did not do this. Who in the world just sent all those missiles up in the sky to blow up that project? Because now it looks bad on Dr. Doom. But then this is where things get worse, because we pick up with Dr. Doom in his war room. And while he is in his war room, he's confronted by a group of people who are all telling him, yes, those missiles did come from us, Latveria. But to make matters worse, there are people actually on the moon right now wearing Dr. Doom's armor and having their symbol that represent Latveria, telling the world, yes, it was Latveria that did this terrorist attack. And of course, that means you now have other countries across the world wanting Dr. Doom to turn himself in. And of course, one of his personal guards, Zora, who is going to be very important in this storyline right here, because she was only created about 4 years ago. But Zora is close to Dr. Doom and he tells her, listen, I am going to give myself up, but I want you to take my place as the leader of my country, and then I want you to figure out who is trying to frame me for this. Like, he's putting so much pressure on her, but in reality, he has no choice because he wants to protect his country, Latveria, because Dr. Doom will do anything to protect his country. But when he gets outside, that is when he is attacked by two characters who I'm not going to sit down and trying to explain who they are. And those two characters are Agent Zero and Union Jack. But these two characters work for different countries across the world, and of course they are here to arrest Dr. Doom. Now remember, Dr. Doom said he was going to give himself up because he knows how bad things look now. But he's trying to tell the world, it wasn't me. I will go with you, but I want to tell you that it was not me or my country that attacked that center on the moon. But of course, these two guys are not listening to him. They keep on attacking him, but that is when he takes both of them out and he says, listen, I'm going with you. Like, just take me in. I'm trying to tell you something, that I did not do this. But while he is being surrounded by all the military forces that want to bring him in for what they believe he did, he has another vision. Except this time it is him and this supposed wife he's supposed to have in the near future, or could be a different timeline. Either way, all he knows is this vision is telling him he is going to save the world. But for him to reach that goal, he has to go through this moment right now. But then we jump a few hours where we actually pick up with Dr. Doom being escorted into an actual jet so that jet can take him to a prison to hold him. Now, there are a bunch of characters in these opening pages of the second issue, but the only characters that are actually important is Silver Sable, Herbie, which is a robot that belongs to the Fantastic Four, and Doctor Strange. Besides that, the rest of these characters are actually not important. Now, real quick, you do have Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom talk to one another because it is Doctor Doom trying to tell Strange, listen, I didn't do this. I want you to believe that I did not do this. You know me very well, Strange. You and I go back and forth as allies, as enemies, whatever. You know this could have not been me. But of course, it's Doctor Strange wondering, can he actually believe what Doctor Doom is saying right now at this moment? Now, this is the moment where we jump back over to Latveria, where we pick up with Zora. Remember, Dr. Doom left her in charge of the country while he's being arrested at the moment. Except she has been confronted by different countries around the world telling her that they have closed down every single trade route as a way to kind of hurt the country, but to also inspect what they are trading. And so right now it's her trying to do her best to keep her country afloat, but we all know she is hoping that Dr. Doom can come back and take charge of his country once again. But then we jump back over to Dr. Doom, and the reason why is because while he's being transported by the jet to this hopefully new prison that can actually hold him, well, that is when he is confronted by King the Conqueror one more time. Now, King the Conqueror actually tells Dr. Doom that he saw the future for Dr. Doom, and in that future, he actually was able to give the world peace. And so this is Dr. Doom wondering, wait, are the visions that I have been seeing are actually true? That I actually lead the world into world peace? I become some amazing person in the world? And so with that, that kind of motivates Dr. Doom to get out of this jet as a way to figure out what is going on with his visions, who is trying to frame him, and then also get his country back. And so he has King the Conqueror actually help him break out of the jet, and they do get out of the jet. Except you have Kang the Conqueror once again disappear at the worst moment, and that happens a lot with Kang the Conqueror in this book. But you then have Doctor Doom being able to use some magic as a way to save his life as he crash lands in the ocean and now works on his way to complete all his different goals. But once Doctor Doom is in New York, that is when he's being called through magic by a character known as Morgan Le Fay. Now, Morgan Le Fay is a very difficult character to explain. There is so much history with this character, but all you know is that she can use magic and Doctor Doom and her used to be lovers. But it's her calling out to him because she wants to help him because she knows what is going on. Now, this is where we jump over to Blue Marvel. And Blue Marvel is another character that is really hard to explain because there is so much history with the character, and I really want to sit down and cover his original run because his series was amazing. But either way, Blue Marvel is a very powerful character, and also Herbie comes to him. Remember, Herbie is the Fantastic Four robot, and right now you have Herbie coming here asking for Blue Marvel to actually help capture Doctor Doom because, one, Blue Marvel is super smart, one of the smartest in Marvel Comics, but also because he is very powerful and could go toe to toe with Doctor Doom himself. But then we jump back over to Doctor Doom and Morgan Le Fay, as right now they're chilling in her apartment. Now, this is Morgan Le Fay just giving Doctor Doom a place to shower, eat, and relax after having a crazy day. But you do have her bring the idea up of what is going on in his life. And you have Doctor Doom actually tell her about the visions he has been having. And also he tells us about the future wife he's supposed to have because he learned her name. Her name is Frusina. And so now he's wondering if he should go out there, find this Frusina person because in his visions, that lady is supposed to be his future wife. But you do have Doctor Doom ask Morgan Le Fay if she is able to look into the future as a way to gather some clues of what is going on in his life, who's out there trying to frame him. Does he actually have a chance to have a peaceful life? But she tells him that thanks for her being in this time, she's unable to actually use her magic like she wants to. And so she says she knows someone, and so she makes him a brand new Doctor Doom mask as a way to scare the person they're going to see. And hopefully this person can give Doctor Doom some kind of information. And so you have Doctor Doom and Morgan Le Fay actually go meet up with this person that she supposedly knows that can help look into the future of Doctor Doom. And he tells us his name is the Witness. Weird name, but whatever. But he is able to look into the future of Doctor Doom to see what this future he's supposed to have. And the Witness says it is actually the saddest day. The saddest day ever on Earth, but it is so beautiful. But before he is able to explain that, that is when someone actually snipes Doctor Doom right in the head, and Morgan Le Fay has to hold the dead body of Doctor Doom. But then we jump forward a decade later, where we pick up with Victor Von Doom giving a speech about how he believes the world should make their first weather control machine, because he begins to talk about how weather has been a big problem across the world. Weather has caused a lot of problems for different countries. And so he believes there should be some kind of way to control the weather across the world. And it seems like this is the first step that he took as a way to lead the world into world peace. But remember, he just got sniped in the head. And so right now we see this future Victor Von Doom giving this speech, but then we have present day Victor Von Doom just staring at him with a bullet hole in his head. But then we jump over to present day Victor Von Doom arriving in hell. And this is huge because this is Victor Von Doom believing that he should not be in hell, that he should be anywhere else besides hell. But of course, he's like, okay, I'm in hell, but I have to get out of hell. Yes, like I just said, Victor Von Doom is going to try to get out of hell. But then Victor Von Doom is confronted by Mephisto. Now this is huge, but I want to explain who is Mephisto. So when it comes to hell, you have different kinds of hell all over Marvel Comics. But when it comes to Earth's hell, well, you have Mephisto as one of the many rulers of hell. And so yes, when Mephisto first appeared, he was known as like Marvel's devil, but there are different rulers of hell across Earth's hell. And so right now Mephisto is the one confronting Doctor Doom because he always wanted Doctor Doom's soul, especially when it comes to him holding his mother's soul. But you have Doctor Doom begin to fight against Mephisto as a way to get out of hell. But then you have Mephisto bring up the one woman that had ever loved Doctor Doom, and that lady was Valeria. And Valeria is a very important character when it comes to Doctor Doom. And I will explain who she is here in a minute. But then we jump back over to Latveria, where we pick up with Zora still in charge of Latveria. But you have some people tell her, hey, listen, we are about to be attacked by the Symkarians once again, except this time they're not working with NATO, nor the UN or EU. They're just working for themselves as a way to attack our country and take over our country. Now remember, this is the same country that was attacking Latveria earlier. But then you have Zora go into her room as a way to get some rest, to get away, but also do some exercises. But that is the moment where she does get attacked by a random ninja who is planning on killing her because he was assigned to kill her. Now, getting back over to Doctor Doom and Mephisto, to explain who is Valeria, Valeria was the first person Doctor Doom ever fell in love with. But of course, over time, he changed because he was always trying to save his mom's soul from Mephisto. Now, here's the big thing on why Mephisto is pulling this card out. Because she died back in like 2003 or 4. I forgot what book she died in. But when it came to Doctor Doom needing a new kind of armor, a new kind of enchanted armor, the spell he used required him to give up something he really cared for or loved. And of course, he gave her up. He gave her up as a way to get some new enchanted armor, as a way to be more powerful. And so with that, she died. But he always felt bad because he basically killed the one person who actually loved him no matter what over Marvel Comics. And so this is Mephisto just being dirty. But you do have the two of them continue to fight for a good set of pages, really. But then out of nowhere, someone stops them from fighting. And this person is very important. And that person is Mistress Death. Now, when it comes to Mistress Death, she's more powerful than Mephisto because she is death. She controls all death across the universe, and she can actually wipe out Mephisto. But she says, listen, Doctor Doom, I'm going to give your life back to you because no, it's not your time. No, it's not because, you have big plans for the future. It's because you'll be the greatest servant of all time for me. That is why I am going to give you your life back. Bam, just like that, he's out of hell. But then when he wakes back up, he's confronted by, of course, Morgan Le Fay, because she was the one who saw him get sniped. But he's also confronted by Blue Marvel and Herbie, because they were hired or told to go capture Doctor Doom and bring him to Reed Richards. And of course, when Doctor Doom sees him, he's like, oh, nope, Blue Marvel, gotta go. And he just blasts Blue Marvel through a bunch of walls, Herbie as well. But after he does that, he is then confronted by Kang the Conqueror one more time. And you have Kang the Conqueror tell him, like, listen, man, first off, you look like a hot mess at the moment. But then he says, listen, because I'm able to time travel across all time, I kind of have an idea who killed you. It was Taskmaster. Taskmaster was signed or hired by AIM to kill you. And so you have Doctor Doom say, cool, Now it's time for me to find Taskmaster and kill him. But then we jump over to Dr. Doom number 4, and we pick up with a character named Dmitry Fortunov. I really hope I pronounced that last name correctly. Now, this character has been around in Marvel Comics. Well, not really around. He only appeared in 2 books before this one, and that was X-Force number 63, and I want to say X-Force number 64 as well. But the reason why we pick up with this homeless man named Dmitry, I just butchered that name, sorry. Well, he is the great-grandson or grandson of the person who used to run Latveria before Dr. Doom took over. And so you have some random character come to Dmitry and tell him, listen, technically you are the rightful heir of Latveria, meaning that with Dr. Doom gone, you can now be in charge of Latveria. But then we jump over to Dr. Doom, because remember, Dr. Doom just found out who sniped him, and it was Taskmaster. But at the same time, he found out that who hired Taskmaster to actually snipe him, and it was an organization known as AIM. Except before going to AIM, he went after Taskmaster to hopefully gather some kind of information on why in the world AIM was trying to kill Dr. Doom. And so we see Dr. Doom actually go to the base of Taskmaster. But this is where I try to explain who Taskmaster is, because even though he was in the Black Widow movie, it is still a character not a lot of fans actually know of unless you are an avid comic book reader. But then we jump back over to Zora, because right now, remember, she is the temporarily leader of Latveria because Dr. Doom is gone. But she is confronted by the leader of the Suncaria country. Now remember, Suncaria and Latveria have been going at war this whole time. But now you have Suncaria leader coming here to Zora to tell her, listen, we found the leader or the actual ruler of this country, and that is Dmitry. Now, as soon as she finds out Dmitry is alive and that he is planning to take over Latveria because technically he is the rightful ruler of this country, she wants to attack and kill him because she knows, or she wants, Dr. Doom to be in charge. But then she is stopped by Silver Sable. Now remember, Silver Sable is one of those characters that kind of is a Spider-Man character more, but either way, she is a mercenary, but she's also from Suncaria. And so she tells Zora, listen, I don't want any bloodshed at all between your country nor mine, but you and I need to leave this situation right now, work together, and we need to find Doom. Please listen to what I am telling you right now. But then we jump back over to Dr. Doom. Now, this is when you have Dr. Doom fighting against Taskmaster. Now, when it comes to Taskmaster, his real name is Tony Masters, or Anthony Masters for full name. But Anthony Masters is an old character who first appeared back in Avengers number 195 back in 1980, a long time ago, guys. But either way, Taskmaster has the ability to copy other heroes' fighting skills, or other characters' fighting skills, not just heroes, villains as well. But either way, he is a very capable fighter when it comes to Marvel Comics. And we actually see him right now fighting against Dr. Doom. But because Dr. Doom is magic and science and not really a bad fighter himself, he is actually able to overpower Taskmaster. But then you have Dr. Doom asking questions like, what is the code name for your assignment? Because every single time AIM gives someone an assignment, they give that assignment a code name. Now at first, Taskmaster does not want to tell Dr. Doom, but then he tells Dr. Doom the actual assignment name, and the name is Frusina. Now that name should sound very familiar to you because that is the name of of who is supposed to be the future wife of Dr. Doom. Because remember, he has been having visions this whole time, and with them having visions, those visions telling him, you're going to marry a woman named Frusina. And so when Dr. Doom hears that name, he's like, how does AIM know that I'm looking for her? How does AIM know that that could be my future wife down the road? But once Dr. Doom is able to deal with Taskmaster, he does move on to MODOK. Now, MODOK is really the leader of AIM. And honestly, I'm not going to sit down here and try to explain who MODOK is because honestly, it's kind of a mess. But MODOK tells Dr. Doom that he knows about the supposed future wife for Dr. Doom, but also giving hints that he knows that there is a future where Dr. Doom could lead the world into world peace. And so even though you have the two characters fight against each other, it's really more Dr. Doom realizing other people actually know about the visions he has been seeing. But did we kind of get an idea of who is behind all of this? Because we jump over to Dimitri as he is meeting up with some lady who is hiding in the shadows to kind of hide out who she is. But we learn that she's the one behind all of this because we come to find out that Samaria, the country that Latveria is fighting against, is a dying country. Their trade lines have all been blocked. They have a hunger problem right now. And so right now, their country is dying, their people are starving, and they're trying to figure out how to save their country. And to move Dimitri in Latveria is just the first step to save their country. But this person is our true mastermind. But then we jump back over to Blue Marvel. Now remember, Blue Marvel was tasked to find Dr. Doom. And so when he gets to the last location Dr. Doom was at, well, of course, Dr. Doom is already gone because he already defeated Taskmaster and MODOK. But you have Blue Marvel call up Reed Richards to tell him, hey man, Dr. Doom is still out there. But you have Reed tell Blue Marvel, okay, listen, that is a problem, but I need you up here right now because I feel like things are about to get really bad. We come to find out the black hole machine they made as a way to deal with Earth's pollution, well, that black hole is now out of control on the moon. But then we jump over to Dr. Doom number 5, where we are introduced to a random female character working on a weather machine. Remember, in Dr. Doom number 3, earlier in this video, we saw a future Victor Von Doom talking about making a weather machine as a way to control the weather. And so right now we have this mysterious lady putting a machine underneath the Statue of Liberty that can begin the process of actually controlling the weather. But here's the thing. She tells her two henchmen that she is from Latveria. Now, this is a different mysterious character that we saw earlier. And so now the question is, who is this mysterious lady who is working on this weather machine? But then we pick up with Dr. Doom again. And this is the moment where you have Dr. Doom find out that Dimitri has taken over Latveria, that Zora has left Latveria, and now Dimitri is the new ruler of Latveria. And so Dr. Doom is very upset because he told Zora, you're in charge. Comes to find out, she's no longer in charge, and he is wondering why she is not there. Speaking of Zora, we actually see her working with Silver Sable as they are trying to find Dr. Doom. And so right now we can tell they're also in New York City because again, they're looking for Dr. Doom. And so hopefully they can find him and help him get Latveria back. But then we jump over to Dr. Doom, who is at a public library. And the reason why is because he is looking up information about Frasina, this lady who is supposed to be his future wife. Now, we come to find out the lady we saw just a moment ago who built that weather machine and putting it underneath the Statue of Liberty was actually Frasina herself. But here's the thing. Dr. Doom is confronted by King the Conqueror. And you have King the Conqueror wondering why in the world Dr. Doom is looking up information about this lady. Where you have Dr. Doom tell her, listen, tell him. King the Conqueror is a he. And you have Dr. Doom tell King the Conqueror, listen, I am trying to find this lady because she's supposed to be my future wife. Now, King the Conqueror is like, wait, you're looking for someone to love? Love is weak. Love makes people weak and everything. Why are you doing this? You must be in some kind of trance or you must be depressed. But either way, I should kill you where you stand. And you do have a brief battle between King the Conqueror and Dr. Doom. But once again, Kang the Conqueror is gone. He disappears one more time, and that leads Dr. Doom to wonder what is his next step. Now, this is the moment where I can say other people are beginning to learn about Fracina, because we pick up with Blue Marvel and Herbie because they were able to gather some information from Taskmaster about Fracina. At the same time, we pick up with Silver Sable and Sora, and they also gather some information about Fracina as well. And so Dr. Doom is not the only person knowing about this lady. Other characters all know about her, and they all know where to find her. Now, this is the moment where you have Dr. Doom being able to find Fracina. Now, once he finds her, she thinks, oh my god, it's Dr. Doom. I must bow down to him because he is my ruler. And you have Dr. Doom say, stop. I'm not here for that. I'm here to actually tell you that I've been having visions. In those visions, you and I actually get married. Now, for her, she's like, no, I would never marry you. And Dr. Doom is like, why not? Is it that bad to marry me? Am I a bad person to you? She said, yes. Like, I respect you because you're my ruler, but at the same time, I feel like you are a horrible ruler because you locked up my father. And this is when we learn who her father is. Her father is Gregor Markovich. And the reason why he got locked up is because her father wrote a piece about Dr. Doom and saying how Dr. Doom was wrong for invading Wakanda. And so Dr. Doom did not like that, and he locked her father up. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, he deserved to be locked up. He basically wrote bad things about me. Something I tried to do to make our country better. But then out of nowhere, you have all these different characters just pop up. Blue Marvel, Silver Sable, and Zora. Now, these characters are all here for Dr. Doom, but for different reasons. For example, Blue Marvel is here because Reed asked Blue Marvel to get Dr. Doom so that Dr. Doom can help Reed save the moon, because that black hole is getting ready to destroy the moon. But at the same time, Zora and Silver Sable are here because they want Dr. Doom to go back to Latveria and once again be the ruler over there. And so you have these characters here for different reasons and fighting against each other. But then out of nowhere, you have a random ninja appear. This is the same ninja we saw earlier that Zora fought. Come to find out, this ninja is actually Amy Chen. Don't worry, she's not important because she dies literally in 2 pages. But out of nowhere, you then have Kang the Conqueror appear. And you have Kang tell Dr. Doom, listen, man, one of my future selves told me to come to you and give you this. Of course, this thing I'm giving to you is supposed to save the world. It's just a brand new Dr. Doom armor. And of course, you have Victor Von Doom put on this new Dr. Doom armor. And you have Dr. Doom kill Amy Chan. I told you she'll die real quickly. And then he says, listen, all of you stop. Blue Marvel, I know why you're here for. You need my help to stop that black hole from getting rid of the moon. I don't care. Let the moon go away. I want Reed to feel guilty for what he made. I want to realize that I am better than him once again. But at the same time, Zora, Silver Sable, I know why you're here. I'm mad at you, Zora, for you giving up my country to Dimitri. I am going back to my home country and getting my country back. No one is going to stop me. And this is where we So getting back into the Doctor Doom series, we actually pick up with Doctor Doom number 6. And we pick up with Doctor Doom and Kang the Conqueror. Now, if you are new to Marvel Comics or you did not see my last video where I explained who Kang the Conqueror is, Kang the Conqueror is actually a time traveler in Marvel Comics. He is from the far future. But here's the big problem with Kang the Conqueror. So Kang the Conqueror has time traveled so much throughout all time of Marvel Comics, there are different versions of him across all time. My big example to use is Iron Lad from Young Avengers, because Iron Lad is actually the teenage version of King the Conqueror. Now here's the thing though, Iron Lad and King the Conqueror both exist at the same time and can both appear at the same time if they wanted to. So again, there are many different versions of King the Conqueror. Now, another big problem with King the Conqueror is that no one knows who King the Conqueror is related to, because throughout Marvel Comics, King the Conqueror has mentioned that he could be related to Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom. Now, when it comes to King the Conqueror, his real name is Nathaniel Richards, which means he could be related to Reed Richards. But once again, we have no idea because there have been hints that he could be related to Victor Von Doom as well. Now, the reason why he is here because throughout this series of Doctor Doom, King the Conqueror pop in and pop out because there is some kind of connection between him and Victor Von Doom. And so right now you have Victor Von Doom and King the Conqueror traveling across America on foot. And the reason why is because they're trying to reach Latveria. Now, if you're wondering why in the world Victor Von Doom and King the Conqueror are traveling on foot and not using machines, portals, magic, or even time travel as a way to get to Latveria, it's because Victor Von Doom wants to keep a low profile. Also that he needs some more things before he is able to retake Latveria back, because right now he lost Latveria to other people. And so right now he is trying to get Latveria back, but he does not have the right equipment to help him get Latveria back. But while the two of them are traveling across America, that is when they get attacked by the Paladin and the Orb. Now, we have talked about the Paladin a few times here and there throughout our coverage in the Shadowland event we did for Daredevil, but the Orb is a character we have not talked about at all. And matter of fact, the Orb is going to be very important when we sit down and cover Original Sin later on this year. But either way, the Orb is a character who's a mercenary just like Paladin, except when he was born, his head was just one big eye. That was it. There's more to the character, but honestly, no one cares. But you do have King the Conqueror, and Doctor Doom being able to defeat both Paladin and the Orb very easily. But once you have the two of them being able to defeat Paladin and the Orb, that is when a plane comes by to deliver a package over to Victor Von Doom. Now, in this package is one of the most powerful weapon ever made in Marvel Comics, which is the Ultimate Nullifier. Now, the Ultimate Nullifier is a very powerful weapon that is able to blink anything or anyone out of existence completely in the universe. And so that is a very powerful weapon to use. But of course, Victor Von Doom seems scared to use it. And the book will explain why he's scared to use it right now. But that is a powerful weapon to be in the hands of Victor Von Doom. Now, you do have King the Conqueror actually try to attack Victor Von Doom, try to kill him, because even though these two could be related, they also have bad blood between the two of them. At the same time, they still like each other as well. It's really weird. But either way, you have King the Conqueror actually try to defeat Doctor Doom, but he fails because Doctor Doom was able to kill King the Conqueror. Now, once Doctor Doom kills King the Conqueror, don't worry, because again, there are many different versions of King the Conqueror across all time in Marvel Comics. But you do have Victor Von Doom move on with his day, even though now he must ride on solo because King the Conqueror is dead at this moment. Now, you do have Doctor Doom call up Reed Richards, and the reason why is because Doctor Doom has a plan to get rid of the black hole that is about to destroy the Earth. Remember, in our last video, Reed Richards and Tony Stark built some base on the moon as a way to create a black hole that should have helped get rid of pollution problems on the Earth, except someone was able to hijack the missiles from Latveria to frame Dr. Doom, but used those missiles as a way to destroy the base on the moon that then led to the black hole going crazy, and now that black hole could possibly destroy the Earth. And so you have Dr. Doom tell Reed Richards, use Blue Marvel, send him into the black hole, and make Blue Marvel release a high amount of negative energy, and that should get rid of the black hole. Then we jump over to northern Latveria, where you have a small group of people who are very loyal to Dr. Doom, waiting for Dr. Doom to appear. And matter of fact, that is the moment you have Dr. Doom appear. But before we dive into him appearing, I want to explain who each of these members are of this group that is very loyal to Dr. Doom. The first one up is, of course, Boris. Now, Boris is actually Doom's longest serving advisor. Petra, who is the daughter of Boris, is Doom's chief of staff. Then you have Lauren, the last surviving monk of Doom. Then you have General Vasily, who is Doom's Secretary of Defense. Then you have Christoph, who is Doom's adoptive son. And finally, you have Zora, who is Doom's right-hand man, but also champion of Latveria. Now, with these members, they're all surprised to see Dr. Doom alive and well, but at the same time, him riding a bear. And his bear actually has a name, Novak. He named his bear Novak. But either way, now you have Dr. Doom want to talk to each member of this loyal group of people. But then we jump back over to Reed Richards and Blue Marvel, because we see that these two characters are actually going to use the plan Dr. Doom gave them, which is use Blue Marvel as a way to release a high amount of negative energy to get rid of the black hole. And so right now we see Blue Marvel traveling into the black hole, hoping to get rid of it by using negative energy. But getting back over to Dr. Doom, we actually see Dr. Doom tell his group of people that, listen, he knows that these 6 people are very loyal to him, but at the same time, he knows one of them had betrayed him. They helped the enemy get Latveria away from him. And so you have Dr. Doom say, listen, I am going to test every single one of y'all to figure out which one of you guys actually betrayed me. And so with that being said, you have Dr. Doom actually sit down with Petra first. Remember, Petra is the chief of staff, but also the daughter of Boris, another member of the loyal group. And you have Dr. Doom question Petra, trying to see if she's the one who betrayed him. But he can tell it wasn't her, even though he can tell that she looks at him as a demon now. And this is Dr. Doom hoping to change his image from a bad guy into a good guy. And you'll see what I mean here as we go through this video. But you do have Petra leave the room, and Dr. Doom knows Petra was not the one who betrayed him. The next person up is Lauren, who is the monk, the last monk of Doom. And that is very important to say, because we come to find out that Dr. Doom actually killed all the brothers of Lauren, all the other monks, as a way for Lauren to spread the word about Dr. Doom as some kind of god, as some kind of hero. But Dr. Doom can tell that Lauren was not the one who had betrayed him. Now the next person up is Vasily. Now remember, Vasily is the leader of defense for Latveria. He is set to protect Latveria from any kind of attack. But here's the thing, Dr. Doom knows that Vasily was the one who betrayed him. And the reason why he knows that is because Dr. Doom had found love letters that Vasily had wrote to a girl, or a lady, sorry, known as Katrina Kharkov. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. But she was the former monarch of Simcaria. Now remember, Simcaria is the country underneath Latveria that has been going to war with Latveria for a long time. And so right now it seems that Vasily was helping Simcaria as a way to take over Latveria from Dr. Doom. And so you have Dr. Doom actually shoot and kill Vasily and tell the rest of the group to feed him to his new pet, Novak the bear. Now the last person up is actually Boris, and Boris is the father to Petra, the assistant to Dr. Doom. But Boris does speak to Dr. Doom and try to show Dr. Doom some kind words by saying, now listen, everyone here except Vasily is kind of like your family. We all care for you. We love you. But for Dr. Doom, he knows it's all lies. There's no way they are family. There's no way they actually love him. There is no way they actually care for him. They only respect him because they fear of him, because how powerful and scary Dr. Doom can be. So scary that this man is wheelchair bound. And when Dr. Doom told him to kneel down, this man tried to plead his case saying, I'm sick, I'm dying, I can't kneel down for you. Dr. Doom said kneel one more time. And this man, who's again wheelchair bound and sick, actually gets down on one knee and kneels to Dr. Doom, which is kind of like, oh my gosh, Dr. Doom, you kind of messed up, dude. Now, the last person is actually Zora. Remember, Zora is the right-hand man of Dr. Doom, the champion of Latveria. In our last video, Dr. Doom actually left her in charge of Latveria while he was trying to figure out who was framing him. Now, here's the thing, though. She lost Latveria to another character who we're going to see here in a quick moment. But you have Dr. Doom actually hand Zora over the ultimate nullifier, the ultimate weapon in Marvel Comics. And the reason why, because he tells us if your mind is not focused when you are using the ultimate nullifier, instead of blinking out what you want gone from the universe, it will blink you out instead. And that is why the ultimate nullifier is so powerful and deadly. But he said, my mind is not focused right now, so I can't use it. So Zora, I want you to hold on to it, and she does. But then you have Dr. Doom say it's about time for him to reclaim Latveria. And so what he does is he goes on to confront Dimitri. Now remember, Dimitri was introduced to us in our last video, and Dimitri is actually the grandson to King Vladimir. King Vladimir was the one in charge of Latveria before Dr. Doom was. Now, Dr. Doom actually killed King Vladimir to get control of Latveria. But because Dimitri was nowhere to be found, that gave Victor Von Doom the chance to control Latveria so easily. But because Simcaria was able to locate Dimitri and say, hey, you are the grandson of Vladimir, that means by birthright, Latveria belongs to you. And so once they were able to get rid of Dr. Doom and put him in charge, Dimitri was instantly working with Simcaria with Latveria under his control. But you have Dr. Doom actually kill Dimitri to say, no, this is my country. This country belongs to me. But here comes the big thing. Remember, in our last video, Dr. Doom was seeing visions of a possible future where he is a good guy. He's married, he has 2 kids, and he was able to save the entire world. And so with these visions, he's like, oh my gosh, there's a future where I do all of this and I'm finally happy. But here comes the thing. The vision he has right now after killing Dimitri is the 2 sons he's supposed to have, and their faces are all scratched up like his face. And that makes him freak out and wondering, with him killing Dimitri, did he just change his possible future of having a wife and kids and being a family? Did he just ruin that for them? Now this leads us into the big moment, because we pick up with Blue Marvel, who's still trapped in the black hole. And then he is confronted by Dr. Octavius. Now this is not Dr. Octavius you all know and love. This doctor is actually from another universe, and this is huge. But you also have Doc Ock tell Blue Marvel that this is not a black hole, that this is actually a wormhole. This wormhole leads into another dimension. So we have 2 different dimensions that are connected right now thanks to this wormhole. Now, once we get into Dr. Doom number 8, this is the moment where you have Dr. Doom explain to us what happened the next couple of days after he was able to reclaim Latveria by writing in his journal. And he tells us in the opening pages, Zora, his champion of Latveria, his right-hand man, had to comfort him. And the reason why, because after he saw those visions of his 2 boys with scarred faces, he freaked out. He started crying. And the reason why, guys, remember, To him, these visions that he is seeing is a possible future that he could have down the road. But to reach that future, he has to do a lot of good in the world, to get that wife, to get the 2 kids, to have a face that is no longer scarred up, to give the world complete peace. But he realized that could be a long time coming. But then he tells us that he then went to war with Symkaria. Remember, Symkaria is the country underneath Latveria that has been trying to claim Latveria. They have been going to war in this video, in our last video. But you have Dr. Doom say that with them holding the ultimate nullifier, no other country around Latveria nor Symkaria tried to butt in because they were scared of Dr. Doom actually using the ultimate nullifier as a way to get rid of them. And so they let Dr. Doom literally take over Symkaria. And of course, the ultimate nullifier is called back home to Galactus, but before it was, Dr. Doom was already winning the war against Symkaria. But then we jump over to Blue Marvel, who tell us that he's still trapped inside the black hole, except it is not a black hole, like I said earlier, that this is actually a wormhole that's being used as a portal to an alternate universe. That Doc Ock we saw earlier again is from an alternate universe. And so now it is Blue Marvel trying to learn what is this alternate Earth like. Now getting back over to Dr. Doom, you have Dr. Doom finally figuring out who is in charge of the group of people that worked so hard to get rid of him from Latveria. And we learn that her name is Inalia, and I know I just butchered that name so hardcore, but she was a Symkarian spy that was planted in Latveria as a way to remove Dr. Doom a long time ago. Except she did get married to a husband, and they did work together to remove Dr. Doom. But when they were exposed of who they were and tried to escape out of Latveria, the husband died, but Inalia left behind a baby. That baby is known as Victorious. Victorious is Zora, the right-hand man of Dr. Doom, the champion of Latveria. And so when Dr. Doom finds out, he's like, wait, the one person I truly trust, the one person I would leave my country to, is actually a Symkarian? That's crazy for him. But then he makes Victorious actually kill her mother. This is a mother she never knew. She just met right at this moment. But of course, because she does serve Dr. Doom, she does kill her mother then and there. Now, this is the moment where we finally learn about the visions Dr. Doom has been seeing this whole time. The reason why I say that is because we jump back over to Blue Marvel talking to Doc Ock from the alternate Earth in this wormhole. And while the two of them are talking, you have Doc Ock actually tell Blue Marvel that his Victor Von Doom, his Dr. Doom, has been having visions of a world that is not full of peace, a world where Dr. Doom is a bad guy, which means that the alternate universe Dr. Doom, his visions are showing him the main Marvel universe Dr. Doom. And that means the visions that the main Marvel universe Dr. Doom has been seeing was not a possible future, it was an alternate universe where that Dr. Doom had led his world to world peace, meaning that Dr. Doom will never be a good guy. He will never have a wife. He will never have kids that he's hoping to have one day down the road. I mean, he could, but right now it's not going to happen. And that is huge. Except Victor Von Doom, the main Marvel Universe Victor Von Doom, has not been able to figure that out yet. So the alternate Dr. Doom has figured out that those visions belong to an alternate universe. But for the main Marvel Universe Victor Von Doom, he has not figured that out yet. And so when we jump back over to him, we see that he has now turned Symkaria as South Latveria. So now Latveria is two countries put together under one ruler. of course, Dr. Doom. But then you have Dr. Doom go into his private room to continue to write in his journal, and him saying that he is going to work on turning himself good because he wants to have the visions that he has been seeing. A world full of peace, a wife and 2 kids. And that is huge because Dr. Doom still has no idea that everything he is working for, of course, is not going to happen. But then when we jump over to Dr. Doom number 9, we have to remember that Dr. Doom and everyone else in the main Marvel universe has no idea that the black hole is actually a wormhole. And so right now you have Dr. Doom and the rest of his Doombots going up to space to deal with what they think is a black hole, but in reality is a wormhole. And they still have no idea. But of course, the whole world is now watching Dr. Doom go up into space and trying to be a hero. And you have Dr. Doom tell the world that he wants nobody's help at all. Especially he does not want Reed Richards around, meaning that he is trying to accomplish this goal by himself. But then we pick up with Reed Richards and we learn that this is really bothering him, that Dr. Doom is up in space and he is going to be the one to save the world. But it also bothers him that Dr. Doom has the whole world watching. Like it's Dr. Doom kind of saying, listen, I'm going to show the world that I am actually better than Reed Richards all the way. There is no way that this man is better than me, Dr. Doom. And so you have Reed tell himself that he hopes that Dr. Doom can actually save the world. But then we jump over to Dr. Doom and you have Dr. Doom actually telling us what he is going to do now, that he had built some kind of machine as a way to get rid of the black hole. Now, once he has done that, his next step is for him to give himself up over to authorities so he can serve time in jail, because this is a Dr. Doom that is trying to be a good guy. Because remember, this main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom has no idea that the visions he has been seeing is not a possible future, it's actually an alternate universe. And so he's doing all of this as a way to achieve what he thinks is going to be his future. But either way, he says after he serves his time, or when he serves his time, Latveria will not belong to anybody else except the one person he trusts, which is Zora, aka Victorious. Now, here's the thing though. Zora and Dr. Doom are now at bad terms because remember, in the last issue, Dr. Doom had her kill her mother. The mother she never knew she had. And so the bond between those two characters is broken. But either way, this is Dr. Doom trying to reach that goal in life. But then we jump over to a phone call. And this phone call is very important because it basically shows us what is going on between these two characters, Dr. Doom and Reed Richards. Because like I said earlier, these two are arch nemesis. These two have been battling so long in Marvel Comics. But the real competition between these two is who is smarter, Dr. Doom or Reed Richards? That has been their battle for ages in Marvel Comics. And so with Reed calling Dr. Doom, he's telling Dr. Doom, I hope your plan works. I hope your project saves the day. I hope everything comes together for you. But for Dr. Doom, he wants Reed to say, tell me, Reed. Tell me, Reed, that you think my plan is perfect. Because if Reed says that, that is Reed admitting that Dr. Doom is actually smarter than Reed Richards. But Reed will never admit that. And honestly, it's Reed kind of hoping that Dr. Doom plan doesn't work. Because then it shows that Reed is actually smarter than Dr. Doom. And so these two are going back and forth over and over again. But with that happening, it puts self-doubt in Dr. Doom's mind. And with that in his mind, he begins to believe that he is unable to actually save the day, that he is unable to actually complete the job, that maybe Reed realize something wrong in Dr. Doom's plan. And so you have Dr. Doom begin the process of changing everything about his plan around to hopefully make sure it works. And so that self-doubt is eating away at Dr. Doom's mind. And it's all because of one single phone call. And so now with that self-doubt being planted in the mind of Dr. Doom, of course, he changed how his machine worked. And so when it came time for him to use his machine as a way to get rid of the black hole, quotation marks, because it's actually a wormhole, of course, his plans failed. And that is when everything begins to fall apart. And Dr. Doom blames Reed Richards because Reed Richards did not admit that Dr. Doom's plan was perfect, but at the same time, it's Dr. Doom not believing in himself when it came to him saving the entire world. But then, out of nowhere, we see the wormhole explode, and in what seems like the Earth is gone, you'll see what happens in the next issue. Now you do have Dr. Doom wake up, and when he wakes up, he realized that it is a sunny day. But the problem is the last thing he remembered was a huge explosion. And so he is wondering, how in the world did he get here? And that is when he is confronted by the alternate Earth Dr. Doom. And that is when we realize that he is on the alternate Earth that we have been learning about. And so this is the moment where you have both Dr. Dooms meet each other. And when they do, you have them wondering what in the world is going on. Now, the alternate Dr. Doom kind of realized what's going on by now, but our main Marvel universe, he has no idea what is going on. But he's going to learn that the visions that he has been seeing is not a future he could have. In reality, it's him seeing the eyes of the alternate Dr. Doom, the world that he lives in. And so you have the alternate Dr. Doom say, let me take you around the world and show you what I did on my Earth. Now you do have the alternate Dr. Doom show the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom around, which does lead him into seeing Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel is alive and he is okay. But here is the thing though, you have Blue Marvel and the alternate Dr. Doom try to talk to the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom by saying, listen man, this world is completely peaceful. There is not a problem at all on this planet. And you can do the same for our home world if you just change your ways. Because the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom realized that he is a nightmare. He realized that he causes a lot of problems in the main Marvel Universe. And so it's Blue Marvel. It's the alternate Dr. Doom saying, if you want to be like this Dr. Doom right here, you have to start now. When we go back, begin to change the world for the betterment. And actually, you have the alternate Dr. Doom take the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom to his home, to show him his wife and kids, to show the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom that he can have this, that he can actually have a life with a wife and children, but he has to change his ways. And you have the alternate Dr. Doom even say, listen man, there was a time where I was broken. I was filled with greed and hate and delusion. But this Dr. Doom still says, I am not broken. But you have the alternate Dr. Doom say, yes, you are. You are ashamed of yourself. You are broken. But that was the hardest part for me too, to realize that I was broken. And for me to achieve all of this, I had to accept who I am and change who I am. And this is all big for the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom. And so you have the alternate Dr. Doom actually talk to the main Marvel Universe Dr. Doom and some kind of underground basement level where you have the alternate Dr. Doom explain that he did not do this all by himself, that he actually had help. He had help from other people across the world, across the universe, different smart people who are very powerful, but also very wise to give the entire universe the one thing it needed, which is complete peace. Now, here's the thing. you actually have Doctor Doom from the main Marvel Universe believe that the alternate Doctor Doom should get some kind of credit, some kind of reward, some kind of prize. But you have the alternate Doctor Doom say, no, I don't need a prize because what I did is amazing enough for me and my job is done. Now, the main Marvel Universe Doctor Doom gets really upset when he hears that the alternate Doctor Doom actually worked with Reed Richards in this universe. Because you have to remember, the main Marvel Universe Doctor Doom hates Reed Richards with a passion. And so as soon as he hears that his alternate version actually sat down and worked with Reed Richards, oh my gosh. The main Marvel Universe Doctor Doom gets so upset, so mad. He's like, nope, this universe is a complete failure. If it has complete peace, it should only be because of me, not because of Reed Richards. And so you actually have Doctor Doom grab this universe version of the Ultimate Nullifier. He kills Doctor Doom, the alternate Doctor Doom, by blasting his head off, and then use the Ultimate Nullifier to destroy the entire universe. Just like that. Bam. It's gone. The whole universe is gone in a blink of an eye. And he sends Blue Marvel back into the main Marvel universe. But then we pick up with Doctor Doom back in Latveria, in the main Marvel universe, where he says, listen, there's no good in me at all. There's only evil. And he tells this to Kang the Conqueror and tells us this because it's basically Marvel saying Doctor Doom will always be a bad guy. He will never be a good guy. Even when it could bring him happiness, he is broken and he will always be a bad guy. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please hit that like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know. Your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video.